It never gets old saying this out loud. The stove is officially hot yet again. We have an update on Joc Pederson. We have an update on Tyler Anderson, who was an all-star just a season ago for the Dodgers. Is he going back to the Dodgers? Is he going to a new team? And pretty much the same conversation is to be had about Anthony Rizzo. He just signed a deal, so we're going to go ahead and see where he went in just a moment. Joc Pederson, this dude is signing a qualifying offer. If you have no idea what that means, that's just a $19.5 million one-year contract. Same for Martin Perez. We talked about him in the video earlier. But if we take a look at Joc Pederson's stats, he had 19 doubles and 23 home runs and 380 at-bats. That's pretty solid production if you ask me. A 144 OPS plus. I mean, in the past, we've seen him go for 113, 126, 125, 126. So Joc Pederson is a legit major league hitter. I mean, he's had career highs of 36. So this is a good sign if you're a Giants fan. They are trying to retool and sign players so that they can have a bit of depth in that lineup for, let's say, I don't know, Aaron Judge. Why would Aaron Judge want to go to the Giants if they were not going to retain pieces in that lineup that would help him hit 45 to 50 home runs because there's protection behind him or even in front of him? Because I feel like a lot of people talk about protection and that's only behind you. No, I feel like players in front of you can add to the mix as well. So Joc Pederson, he is going back to the Giants, and I do not want to waste any time because we talked a lot about Aaron Judge and possibly the fact that he could go to the Giants. Well, here's one thing that the Yankees can say. We are doing much the same. We are keeping Anthony Rizzo. We want to make sure that one of your best buddies is staying on the squad. They are giving Anthony Rizzo, who Jeff Passan said really enjoys being a Yankee. He's getting $20 million a season to stay. And worth noting, Rizzo has grown very close with Aaron Judge over the last 2 years. So if you guys want to see the full kind of qualifying offer results, so Tyler Anderson, like I mentioned, he signed elsewhere. Joc Pederson, he went back to the Giants, and Martin Perez is going to the Rangers for $19.5 million, or I should say he's going back to the Rangers. So we all know that that happened in the first video. Anthony Rizzo going back to New York because he's the Italian stallion. He has so much fun, and Yankees fans, they celebrated by acting like this. Yes, that is how the Yankees are celebrating the fact that Anthony Rizzo is going back. I love Playoff Tanaka on Twitter. A great follow, if you ask me. So Anthony Rizzo, we know that he is a 4-time Gold Glover. He won the Platinum Glove. The Platinum Glove, that means that he was the best defender in the league according to the voters. In 2022, he had a 2.5 WAR. Now this is according to Baseball Reference. He had a 340 on base percentage, 32 home runs, a 131 OPS plus. Again, he was a Gold Glove caliber player. I really like this signing. He had 21 doubles. Anthony Rizzo, I'm not going to say is the heart and soul of the Yankees because we all know that's Aaron Judge, the next captain, because in my opinion, he's probably going to go back to the Yankees, especially after this signing. The Yankees are going to bring back all of their guys. They're going to go out and spend more money. And if you don't believe me, this guy right here, David Lennon, he put out a few tweets. Hal Steinbrenner, he is the owner of the Yankees. So he came out and said in strong terms how much he wants Judge back and made it sound like the Yankees will not be outbid for him. I don't know if that means they're going to have to give up $50 million a year. But he also said with the Yankees re-signing Anthony Rizzo, Hal did say earlier that other moves would not have a financial impact on what they would offer Judge. So the Yankees are pretty much playing with monopoly money. They have more money than the Guardians, the A's, the whatever other poor team you want to talk about combined. The Yankees are going to be just absolute goons this offseason, in my opinion. They're going to get Judge. They're going to get Rizzo back. They're going to maybe get Correa and just become the evil empire all over again because the Astros have punched them so many times in the mouth, they are sick of it. So now you guys can see Tyler Anderson. He's going to Los Angeles, but the team down the interstate, the Angels, and this means the Angels have 4 lefties in that rotation. We'll talk about the trajectory of the Angels rotation and the Angels in just a moment. So Anderson, he rejected the qualifying offer from the Dodgers, and he's going to the Angels in exchange for $39 million over the next 3 seasons. So $13 million is pretty good for a guy that, I mean, if we take a look at his stats, I am not a Tyler Anderson believer. Let me just say that right now. Back in 2018, he had a 4.5 ERA. He led baseball in home runs allowed, so that's not good. He had a brief stint, a few games in the 2020 season with the Giants where he was basically prime Sandy Koufax, but other than that, his first let's just say 5 seasons in the big leagues, a 4.5 ERA and a 4.5 FIP. That just really means, in a nutshell, Tyler Anderson was the human equivalent of batting practice. And then in 2022, he went to the Dodgers. The Dodgers, I don't know if they have a deal with the devil, some sort of voodoo doll against opposing hitters when they bring in new pitchers like Andrew Heaney, Tyler Anderson. They just know what they're doing. Maybe it's a pitching philosophy or analytics or the specific pitching coach that they have. He had a 2.5 ERA, a 3.31 FIP. He was an all-star, and I think that he had a pretty good start in the postseason as well. So Tyler Anderson, and like I mentioned, the Dodgers, they corrected his mistakes, and I don't know if he's going to be able to bring that success to the 2023 Angels. But if they do, let me go ahead and show you my tweet. So I put out a tweet that Ohtani, Sandoval, Anderson, and Detmers, that would be a really good rotation if Anderson is able to keep pace with his 2022 season and Detmers builds off the insane second half that he had. This guy said no they don't, so I had to explain it to him, unfortunately. Ohtani, a 2.3 ERA and a really good FIP. Sandoval, 2.91. Anderson, 2.57. Detmers, after that no-hitter, he fell off a cliff. He went down to the minors. He corrected almost every little mechanical mistake that he was making, and he had a fantastic season, in my opinion. We haven't even talked about Jose Suarez. Jose Suarez is yet another guy that can be implemented into this rotation, and he can make it a 5-man rotation, which I'm hearing through the grapevines. That is what the Angels want, as opposed to going Ohtani every 6 days and then Sandoval and then Suarez and then Detmers. They want to have a 5-man rotation to really protect that arm of Shohei Ohtani, because Ohtani realistically is one of the most important players in baseball because he does it on the mound and in the batter's box. The Angels, the problem is that they're the Angels. Every time I am optimistic about the Angels, I just put out an optimistic tweet basically saying that if Tyler Anderson and Reed Detmers are able to keep pace with how they ended 2022, that will be a really good rotation. We haven't even talked about Sam Bachman, who can throw 97, 99 miles an hour. He's one of their top pitching prospects. We have a few other guys on the pipeline as well. The Angels, a couple years ago, they spent all of their draft picks in a single draft, all on pitchers, not one single positional player. So they understand that pitching is the top priority, at least at this moment. But how are they going to make sure that Anthony Rendon stays healthy? How is Tyler Anderson going to repeat the success that he had a season ago with a 2.5 ERA? He was pretty good with not walking anyone and not allowing home runs, a 0.7 home runs per 9, which means that he cut it in half from the season before when he was with the Mariners. He was awful with them. So that pretty much is the question. Can we be optimistic about the Angels? Or are we running the risk of getting ahead of ourselves yet again, like we do every single season, where we believe that the Angels are going to stick together, they're going to have a great manager, they're going to have great talent, they're going to stay healthy, they're going to beat the Astros, and then that never happens? And to be fair to Angels fans, pitching was not the issue for them just a season ago, so them adding to that rotation only makes them better in the pitching department. But if we take a look, Jared Walsh had an 81 OPS plus. He fell off a cliff. Luis Rengifo, he was a breakout stud, but Andrew the Squid Velasquez, the former Yankee, had a 53 OPS plus. Brandon Marsh, before he got traded, he was not good. Taylor Ward fell off a little bit in the second half. Mike Trout and Ohtani, nothing to talk about in that regard, but Anthony Rendon, he only had 166 at-bats. Joe Adell had a 79 OPS plus. Then you had to rely on guys like Matt Duffy, David Fletcher, Tyler Wade, Kurt Suzuki, Mike Ford, McNair, Sierra, Matt Thaiss, Jack. These guys, I hate to sound like a jerk, and I know that I'm just a washed-up baseball player who has to make baseball videos because I wasn't good enough. I've heard that comment before, and I'm not trying to really discourage these dudes from finding another job, but oh my, I mean, the highest OPS plus that I can see was Livan Soto, who is a rookie, I believe. I feel like he's going to be good, but I don't think he's going to have a 180 OPS plus. These guys, 79, 56, 42, 30 from Juan Lagares. Jonathan Villar had a 29 OPS plus and 49 at-bats. Like, they were essentially a double-A team masquerading as a big league team. It was completely horrific. And honestly, I was embarrassed day in and day out watching the lineup card go out for the Angels, and I just could not believe that they were proud of that. And I feel like the general manager said that last year they went after pitching by getting Thor and Michael Lorenzen, and that they went so heavy on pitching that maybe they forgot hitting and offense. Yeah, you don't say.